Mike and Nick and Alice is a movie that badly deserves a theatrical run, but for one reason or another will be heading straight to streaming, with it premiering on Hulu on March 27th. It's the highest end movie to premiere on the service, and it's such a blast that one figures it would have done really well in theaters. But such is the state of the business nowadays, this high-concept action comedy will really never be seen that way. I saw it here at South by Southwest in a packed movie theater, and it rocked the house. It marks the arrival of BenDavid Grabinski, who wrote Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, as a major talent. So in this one, Mike, played by James Marsden, is a low-level enforcer for a crime syndicate who wants to run away with his lover Alice, played by Eiza González, but he has a problem. She's married to his former friend, a vengeful gangster named Nick, played by Vince Vaughn, who, when he learns of the affair, sets Mike up as a rat in his organization, with him being marked for death. But a remorseful Nick from the future unexpectedly shows up, having somehow gained access to a time machine, hoping to undo the damage he's caused to Mike and Alice's lives. While some won't be able to take the movie seriously due to it using, well, a time machine, despite not being a science fiction movie, it doesn't really ask you to. The whole film adopts a kind of cartoonish anarchy that totally works thanks to the quality of the action and the committed performances by all three leads. Vince Vaughn makes a welcome return to action as Nick, who in the present is a vengeful, cold-blooded gangster, but in the future is a man somewhat haunted by his own misdeeds, bitterly regretting setting up his friend to be killed. As future Nick, he has to not only win over Mike to make his plan work, but also has to somehow convince the mean-spirited present Nick to participate, and Vaughn expertly plays off both Marsden and himself. Vaughn gets to show off the comedy chops that made him one of the biggest stars of the 2000s, while also digging back into action for the first time since Brawl in Cell Block 99, with the movie loaded with some major gunfights and violent scraps. Yet Mike and Nick and Alice also marks a huge change of pace for James Marsden, who really makes for a terrific action hero. His fight scenes are even better than Vaughn's, with him really nailing the choreography, while he's not departing too much from the likable, easygoing presence he's shown in his comedies. His Mike is a nice guy, with him convincing as a romantic lead opposite Eiza González, who's arguably never been this loose and seems to be having a blast, or as a comic foil for the sharp-tongued Nick, both versions. The film is set in a kind of heightened, cartoonish underworld where a kingpin named Sosa, played by Keith David, is the boss and is celebrating the return of his beloved son, Jimmy Boy, played by the great Jimmy Tatro, who steals a lot of scenes as his amusingly moronic character. Jimmy Boy's just been released from prison, and, well, everyone thinks that Mike is the rat that sent him there. The cast is peppered by all kinds of recognizable names thrown into the fray, including Louis Tan as an amusingly dumb muscle man appropriately named Roid Rage Ryan, while Arturo Castro is funny as the aptly named Dumbass Tony. The film also has to walk a thin line, as the tone has to remain comic but also set up real stakes, with Sosa being a legitimate threat who's so evil that his favorite hitman is actually a cannibal who likes to eat his still-living victims. The ultimate identity of the killer, named the Baron, is too good to spoil. Through it all, Mike and Nick and Alice's pace never lags, with Grabinski contributing some witty asides, such as repeated deep dives into the lead's shared love of Gilmore Girls, of all things. The film is also packed with 80s and 90s needle drops, which for once aren't the obvious lazy choices. It's also gleefully R-rated with tons of gory carnage, especially in the final battle royale, which even has a nod to John Woo's A Better Tomorrow with how weapons are hidden for our heroes. It's a rollicking good time and easily the best action comedy I've seen in the last couple of years. And really, how can you not love a movie that starts with a Billy Joel song from Oliver & Company? We give this one a very solid 9 out of 10.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.